Amouage Marina, Bahrain, 9th of February 2014. Nerves were running high at the start of the 4th edition of EFG Sailing Arabia the Tour. 6 boats prepared to set off on an amazing journey. A 760-mile voyage that took them to 4 countries, to 8 of the best marinas in the Arabian Gulf. The best sailors from Oman were pitted against elite international sailors and European youth teams. 21-year-old skipper of youth team Messe Frankfurt, Marcel Herrera, comes back to this event every year.
It's a very anxious time for me. I've been waiting for this for quite a long time. We've started our preparations really early on, and the one thing I want to do is now get on the water and line up with everyone else. We're hoping to have that little advantage over those that haven't trained.
Sydney Gavinier is skipper of Team EFG Bank Monaco and is heavily involved in the development of Oman's top sailors, 2 of whom were on board. This race is great winter training for their summer campaigns in Europe.
It's great to be surrounded by a team of really good guys. You know, we've trained only 2 hours for 2 days. We've never sailed together before, and it's already a great pleasure to sail with those guys. Very pleased.
Katie Pettibone was the skipper of the only all-female team.
I'm excited. We have a great group of girls. They're really keen, they're strong, and so I think starting this adventure with them is going to be just a lot of fun. We have very tough competition, so of course we want to beat the boys. So you throw that all together, it's going to be challenging, but it's going to be fun.
The first all-Omani boat, Team Renaissance, had been training hard and were keen to beat their female training partners aboard Al Thuraya Bank Muscat.
I believe my team is really good. We prepare now for more than 2 months. We are almost 99% ready to do this race and to compete with the other teams.
Dutch skipper Kay Heemskerk on Team Delft Challenge had taken part in the race before, but didn't make it onto the podium.
Always a bit nervous before the start, but that's good. And we're very excited to be here again. We did the race last year, and so we'll try to get on the podium this year.
A team of serving Omani naval officers are returning to the race for a second time, with more experience and higher ambitions.
Facing such a beautiful teams, such a very well-known, distinguished teams, yeah, I am always nervous. But I have some hope, and I have some passion to win, so I'll keep fighting until the last moment.
This event is not just about the sailors.
It's quite a lot of work. We've got over 30 people on the organisation side, on the logistics, race management, event management, marketing, communication and so on.
At sunrise, the fleet of identical Far 30s set off on the 100-mile sprint to Doha in Qatar. It was not long before the delights of this particular route became apparent.
Oh, there they are!
The sailing conditions were perfect, with beautiful clear sunny skies and ideal 17-knot winds. It was a great start to the region's only offshore endurance race. The professionals aboard Team EFG Bank Monaco suffered jib failure at the start and had to really push themselves to be in with a chance on this leg. It was neck and neck for Team EFG Bank Monaco and the well-prepared youth team Messe Frankfurt. The professionals managed first place, but there was just 25 seconds between the first 2 boats as they came into Pearl Marina in Qatar.
I think we're pretty thrilled with the second place result against someone like Sydney, so it's been a good race and we've taken positives and negatives from it, so it's all been good for us and we're really happy with the result.
It was National Sports Day in Doha, and the crowds were out in force. Sydney Gavinier was now very aware that he had his work cut out for him on the second and longest leg of the race, from Doha to Abu Dhabi.
This leg is very much into a corridor, you know, you've got oil fields on the left, oil fields on the right, sandbanks here, sandbanks there. But I think it will be a battle to the end again, so well, we are ready for that.
The girls on board Al Thuraya Bank Muscat were pleased with their 4th place in the first leg.
We've been training so much and practicing sailing a lot, and we feel this year we can perform more compared last year. I mean, we can give more this and hopefully we can keep the hard work up. Yeah.
The identical boats in this race meant that the amateurs were in with a good chance against the professionals. The ambitious Dutch team on board Team Delft Challenge were determined to make a mark on the race this leg and gave it their all. All their training paid off, and they played a tough game of cat and mouse with Team EFG Bank Monaco for the whole length, managing to cross the line just 2 minutes before Sidney Gavinier and his team to secure line honours and bringing their dream of a podium place a step closer. But EFG Bank Monaco were lodging a protest as they crossed the finish line into Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, it's amazing. We had such close racing with EFG, so we're stunned. So it's good. At the last mark, there was a starboard port, but we think it's not grounded, so we'll be fine.
While the Dutch team celebrated their victory, Sidney Gavinier used the layover day in Abu Dhabi Sailing and Yacht Club to undertake some high-risk and extremely challenging repairs to his boat.
We need more or not, more, okay. Almost out of the water now, okay?
His keel had been damaged when he hit a sandbank on the first leg, and it was affecting the boat's performance. Using the mast as a tightrope, the boat was tipped on its side to get access to the grated keel. It was a high-risk tactic that attracted an audience, but one that paid off.
It should be sorted in a short time.
Kai Heemskerk had a nerve-wracking day as the protest appeal against his team was heard.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that we've been disqualified, but I think it will motivate us for the rest of the tour that we know that we can beat those guys, and now we're going to do it in the right way. In the point system, it's very bad for us. We are now in 5th position where we used to be in 3rd, so yeah, it's pretty sad, so we need to fight back.
I feel sorry they are disqualified. It's the game and we had this little incident, but they did deserve the win. But we had to do, we had to protest.
Early in the morning, the teams prepared for the 3rd leg from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. The stunning Abu Dhabi skyline provided a magnificent backdrop to the start of the 60-mile journey. It was a long and grueling day's racing. EFG Bank Monaco once again proved to be unbeatable and took line honours. 21-year-old skipper of Messe Frankfurt, Marcel Herrera, was delighted to get to Dubai.
I learned how to sail here and I've grown up in Dubai, so it's really nice finishing here in 2nd place, and we had a few nice, extremely testing weeks before us, and it's nice to come home. It's quite late at night and we've been racing for a really, really long time now, and it's been a really stressful day, but it still does feel like it's coming home, and we'll get some nice sleep in a hotel and come and enjoy breakfast tomorrow morning.
The following morning, the teams had a chance to relax. Some head off to see the sights of the great city of Dubai.
Hello.
Others took it easy at the fabulous surroundings of the Dubai Offshore Sailing Club.
Hello.
You like my knees?
The 4th leg starts. Next stop, the Al Hamra Marina and Yacht Club in Ras al Khaimah. Yet again, Team EFG Bank Monaco dominated the leg. for race veteran Mohammed Al Mujaini, taking part for the third time. The race is great training for his busy summer schedule aboard Oman Sails Mod 70 and M34.
So I was first do it with the full crew money with Mohsen, and the last year with the BA system we win the second, and this year with the bank EFG. It's feeling good, of course, because we're sailing with the professional sailor like Sydney, like Cedric, and this is good, you know, this is a good chance to learn everything about sailing.
In Ras al Khaimah, there was an extremely important job to be done. Food supplies were dwindling, and a group were dispatched to the supermarket to stock up.
We're going to get 3 meals, something like pasta or chicken. This will be a snack, or a bag of 7 apples, and we'll get some bananas as well, and you know, stuff like that.
Eat. I'm not very good at maths. It's going to take me a little while.
The biggest one we have.
It was a big responsibility.
Because I know my crew, when they will eat, they eat less than upwind. You know, downwind it will be not too much wind, or they are not hiking, so they want to eat a lot.
The leg from Ras al Khaimah to Ziggy Bay was the most challenging and the most interesting, as it took the fleet around the breathtakingly beautiful Mussanah Peninsula and past its rugged mountains. This stretch showcases the beauty of sailing in the Arabian Gulf more than any other. The fleet were sailing around the tactically challenging straits of Hormuz when there was a surprise on the horizon.
– 60, 70 fishing boats come towards us packed full of goods. It's a bit of a worry.
It was just amazing. We could see like easily 50 boats coming on the horizon, full speed, and they were fully loaded, all the same boats. In fact, they just came either side, you know.
The traders on their boats whizzed past with friendly waves.
It turned out to be all right, and we just got a bit of their wakes and we continued sailing.
Whilst the teams raced down the Arabian coast, the shore crew, as they do for every leg, travelled ahead to the next stopover. The hard work began when they arrived in Dibba, as the natural marina of Ziggy Bay can only be reached by sea. The stage, the shore kit, the prizes, all had to be carried by hand onto the dhow for the hour-long journey from Dibba to Ziggy Bay before setting up in time for the fleet's arrival. At 5:30 in the morning, the shattered teams arrived, exhilarated by the beauty they'd seen during daylight hours, and delighted to be at Ziggy Bay.
Well, Ziggy Bay is just fantastic. I mean, this place is beautiful. Dibba is wonderful. The people are wonderful. The coastline's magnificent, and so I always enjoy coming in.
The weary sailors headed by dhow to the town of Dibba for some much-needed rest. A few hours later, as they returned to Ziggy Bay, that rest had clearly done them some good. After 12 days at sea, the sailors were delighted to be treated to a fantastic feast. It's a chance to relax before the final sprints to the end of this tour.
Warming up for me.
The rested teams head off for the penultimate stopover in Mussanah. There's still all to play for a podium place, and the competition is intense. Whilst Team EFG Bank Monaco are now confidently in first place, and Team Messe Frankfurt are in second, the fight for third place is fierce.
In the last leg, we finished third. Very excited to do the next leg, and inshallah we'll beat the Dutch boys.
It was a long leg to Mussanah, and the sailing was challenging. The 139-mile journey was one of the longest of the tour. Everyone was feeling the pressure. It's the 13th day of the tour, and the teams have enjoyed amazing scenery, constant competition, and healthy rivalries. At this late stage in the event, no team can afford to relax for one moment. For the team in pole position, EFG Bank Monaco, the race is important winter training towards their Tour de France à la Voile campaign. For the other teams, it was all to play for. The rivalry between the Dutch team on Team Delft Challenge and the all-female Al Thuraya Bank Muscat team has reached its peak as they're neck and neck.
It's been a great experience for me to sail in Arabia, the tour, and I'm very excited to do the last leg and the last time to sail with the great people with me, and I wish them all the best for all the teams. We are now equal with the Dutch team, the Delft, and we have to get third, and so we can be in third place. Yeah.
The last day of the race, and the Dutch were still on tenterhooks. The podium place they wanted so badly rested on this very last leg.
Well, today is the last day of the tour. It's going to be an exciting one for us. The girls are only 0.25 points ahead of us, so it's only about the girls and us. So it's going to be close racing. The rest of the fleet we don't care about yet today, so it's going to be match racing till Muscat.
The stunning sunrise was a fitting way to start the last day of racing from Mussanah to Muscat. The sailing conditions on this 760-mile leg were challenging and hard-fought. The boats were in touching distance as the end was in sight. The Dutch students aboard Team Delft Challenge gave it their all and managed a stunning victory in the last leg, guaranteeing them the podium place they longed for. It has not been a straightforward win for them, as the amateurs have really kept them on their toes.
We won! Finally we won. It hasn't been so easy, no? It hasn't been such a walk in the park. We never won by a big lead. We won often, but not always. So that's great. It feels good.
Crew member Mohammed Al Mujaini, taking part in the race for the third time, enjoyed his moment of victory.
This is the first time we win the regatta, and we're feeling really good about this. Sailing with professional sailors, and this is good for us.
For youth team Messe Frankfurt, their second place is a long-held dream come true.
I've been very relieved. Everything's come together really well. It's been a really fantastic event, and we're really happy with the second place.
The Dutch podium place was hard-earned.
Amazing way to end a tour like this. We're very happy. This was our goal, to be on the podium, and if you do it like this, with a win in here in Muscat, it's fantastic.
Well, we didn't end up getting the Dutchies at the end, so that was unfortunate, but it was a good battle. The girls are really pleased with their journey. They did so well, and they exceeded my expectations, and their spirit is fantastic.
The Omani team, Renaissance, came fifth.
This is first time in this year, 2014, full Omani crew in a Renaissance boat. I'm very happy for this. This is Arab tour. We are Arabi people. This is a good point for my team.
The prize giving was a celebration of all that the sailors had achieved on their journey. Crowds of well-wishers and dignitaries turned up to join in the celebrations to mark the end of the 4th successful edition of EFG Sailing Arabia the Tour.
Messe Frankfurt, skippered by Marcel Herrera. Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of EFG Sailing Arabia, the Tour 2014 is EFG Monaco, skippered by
It had been a tour with immense highs and lows, laughter and challenges, extraordinary teamwork, and impressive personal endeavour. Winning skipper Sidney Gavinier was already looking forward to the 2015 edition of the race.
Sailing Arabia the Tour is clearly a race not to be missed.